Hi all and welcome to a Pixelcave video about silver resistance in the vampire survival game V-Rising. If you have started playing the game, you might already have found some silver coins. Silver coins can be found in chests, containers and drop occasionally from fishing nodes or enemies, for instance merchants. Silver coins are a currency that can be used to buy items from merchants in-game. If you want to learn more about merchants, where to find them, their wares and how to interact with them, stay tuned for our in-depth merchant guide on our channel. In addition to silver coins, you can also mine silver ore once you progress with your character. Silver ore can be refined into ingots, which are used for crafting higher level gear, weapons and various items. When you carry either coins or silver ore, you might have noticed that you receive a debuff of silver sickness. You might not have thought too much about it, however, if you go above a certain threshold, and you will for sure, the silver sickness starts to deal damage over time, depending on the amount you're carrying. We will explain and outline the thresholds later in this video, to make it easier to understand the debuff. There are multiple ways to increase your silver resistance to avoid taking damage and being able to carry a lot of silver from the silver mine or when you need to bring coins to a merchant. Note that you can easily see your current resistance in your character overview. Let's look at all the ways you can max out your silver resistance at various stages of the game. One of the first things to learn are silver resistance consumables. To craft these consumables, you will need an alchemy table. If not already unlocked, you will need to explore the west side of Farbane Woods. Venture to the Bandit Sulfur Quarry in the area highlighted here. You unlock the alchemy table in your build menu after defeating and consuming the V-Blood of Clive the Firestarter, a level 30 boss that can be found in the quarry. There are two consumables allowing you to increase your silver resistance. The Silver Resistance Brew provides plus 15 silver resistance for 20 minutes. It can be crafted at the alchemy table or randomly found as loot around Dunley farmlands and throughout the world. The recipe for the Silver Resistant Brew can be learned from a knowledge book that can be found primarily as loot throughout Farbane Woods and Dunley farmlands. It can be learned at the research desk. At higher levels, you can also find a recipe for the Silver Resistance Potion, which provides plus 50 silver resistance for 20 minutes, a significant upgrade from the brew. It as well can be crafted at the alchemy table. You learn the recipe for the Silver Resistance Potion after defeating and consuming the V-Blood of Raziel the Shepherd, who is level 60, so quite late in the game. He can be found in the Dunley Monastery. Another way to build up silver resistance are cloaks. Craftable cloaks that provide plus 15 silver resistance are the Hunter's Cloak. The recipe is unlocked after defeating and consuming the V-Blood of Beatrice the Tailor, who is level 38. You can find her in Dawnbreak Village. Moving on to the next item, the Phantom's Whale. The recipe is unlocked after defeating and consuming the V-Blood of Foulrot the Soultaker, who is level 62. He can be found in the Ancient Village. Next up we have the Immortal's King's Cloak or Mantle, which are included in the Dracula's Relics DLC pack. Similar to the Immortal King's, there is a Razor branded cloak and mantle. While the items are rare drops in the world, they can only be crafted if you got a DLC-like key in the limited Razor giveaway. You can craft these cloaks at the Tailoring Bench, a station that is unlocked after defeating and consuming the V-Blood of Quincy the Bandit King, who is level 37. He can be found in the Bandit Stronghold. There is also a number of rare cloaks that provide plus 15 silver resistance that can be found as loot drops. We'll be covering all cloaks which can be obtained in-game in a separate video on our channel. Another tip for further increasing your silver resistance is to carry silver while in bear form. The bear form is a vampire power that lets you transform into a bear and thereby increases your resistances by 25. It is unlocked after defeating and consuming the V-blood of the ferocious bear, which is level 36. You guessed right, you can find the beast inside a bear cave. Personally, we don't think this to be too useful. You won't be able to use this at lower levels, where it could be more useful, because you first need to manage to kill the bear, and traveling in this form is tedious. And at higher levels, you will most likely aim at carrying silver coins to a merchant, and you can't interact with the merchant while in this form. Nonetheless, combined with consumables and a cloak, it might help you to occasionally carry home a little bit more silver, especially when on a bigger farming run. Last but not least, the most important buff that is key for maxing out your silver resistance. You can get a significant silver resistance boost from the soul shard of the winged horror. Soul shards are items that drop from endgame bosses and allow you to craft special structures in your base. The winged horror is one of 3 bosses that drops a soul shard. The boss is level 78 and its soul shard provides you amongst others with a buff of plus 50 silver resistance for a whopping 2 hours. You can find the creature on the dreaded peak. In total, by using the best consumable, wearing one of the silver resistance cloaks and using the soul shard buff, you will have 115 silver resistance. If you transform into a bear, that adds another 25 for the total of 140 silver resistance. However, you won't be able to interact with merchants when in bear form. 115 silver resistance are more than enough to carry the silver coins needed if you want to buy the most expensive hats in game from Ottar the Merchant, who sells those for 550 silver coins each. Here's a breakdown of how many silver coins and silver ore can be carried without taking any damage at various levels of silver resistance. That's all from our side. We hope we have covered everything there is to know about silver resistance currently and that you will find the guide useful. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any feedback, tips, or simply want to say hello. To see more videos from us, please leave us a like, subscribe, and even hit that bell.